those couple at the wedding, they've never, most likely though, that couple have never had a wedding before. And you've been to maybe and over 20, 30 weddings throughout your life.
Mhm.
So you understand the chaos, the tight timelines, and the energies flowing throughout the beginning to the very end of the event when everyone's already dancing and having a good time. So you get to see firsthand how that energy shifts in the building, in the
Mhm.
entire room. And it's great that you took a leader position and a position of, hey, breathe, relax. This is your big day.
Mhm.
Everything is going to be okay because it's going to take care of itself one way or another. And stressing is not the way that you want to approach this, right? So you were there, and in that situation, you became their rock. You became their anchor to ground them back to earth and let them know it's going to be okay. And that to me is a quality that a lot of people should strive to acquire during their lifetime, is become a rock and an anchor for somebody else. I want to say congratulations on being that person and becoming
Thank
that
you.
person, because you can't do it from one day to the next. You have
Mhm.
it takes so much transactions and human interactions, and also diving in
Mhm.
to know that you are at a place now where you can actually talk to another adult and tell them, relax, it's going to be totally fine. I'm going to do the very best that I can to make this wedding a very memorable wedding. And so that's very good, Jose. One question I have for you, and I really want to make you think here, is as you are maturing and constantly optimizing the way you do business, would you say that you yourself are the bottleneck process of your business? Because if you take off to Cancun for 2 weeks, how will your business operate without Jose?
That's one of the disadvantage that I have for my business. So, um, and that's what a lot of people, another people told me that it's hard to be a business owner because you're not a business. You can say you're a business owner, you have a business when you don't, it doesn't require you to be there, right? But in this case, I don't have that formula,
Okay.
or I'm still not in that stage where I can say, you know what, let me go ahead and I can leave the business and the business will run by itself.
Exactly.
Um,
So
mhm.
for this specific meeting, Jose, I want to motivate you to pivot your energy, focus, and resources into a new infrastructure that's going to allow you to step up as a leader and as a director of operations, not be the main photographer, the technician, or operator, but the actual director of operations. And I want to inspire you and motivate you to get out of your comfort zone. And in the past, if you have assistants that didn't last with you very long, or you had people that just helped you for a little bit and then they stopped helping you, I want you to ask yourself, why is it that I couldn't attain these people long term? Is there something that I need to work on as an individual? Could it be that I need to reset my expectation? Or could it also be that I need to stop looking for people who are identical to me because I want to duplicate myself? If you look for people that are going to be exact like Jose, which is driven, anxious to get started, and just a power player, then they might have those strengths, but their weaknesses might be they're not consistent and they don't follow through because everyone is a little unbalanced. So some people are good at doing the same thing over and over and over again well, and they don't like changes. They like tasks that are ongoing. And then there's entrepreneurs who are anxious to get something new started and constantly changing their infrastructure just because they are changing emotionally, and those emotions trigger their thoughts, and those thoughts then go into their business, and their business is always like constantly changing and not really growing steadily because it's triggered by emotion. So try to figure out, Jose, how you can become a leader and start becoming a photographer, as a trainer, so that you can bring in people and have the photography business run successfully without you being involved at the event, physically being there. And once you do that, along that journey, along you growing and talking to contractors or your actual own, very own employees, you will see, you will wake up one morning or go to sleep one night staring at the ceiling saying, I'm growing. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting so many bookings, but it means that I'm growing now as a leader because now I'm in charge of this individual and that individual. I'm getting to know their personalities more, and we're building a sense of trust and understanding. And those same people are the people that are going to help me take my business to the next level. And as
And
business owners, it's going to be very difficult for us to hand over the steering wheel because we, in
mhm.
our minds and our egos, we think we're the very best at what we do and no one can duplicate what I do. But if you have that process, or if you see things constantly in that light, then you will stunt growth and you will let your ego dominate your business.
So I like that idea and in my field because I've done it before. I've trained people, and what happened is that they go and do their own business.
Mhm.
Let's say that I start training someone for the photo booth.
Okay.
So the photo booth business is coming so easy to invest. It's not much as like it was before.
Yeah.
And that's what the people do. Like like photography. Like I got people that reach me out and they want to learn photography. They're like, okay, they want to go and learn with me, right?
Okay.
But they want you to pay them, right? Besides you teaching them, they want you to pay them to learn,
Okay.
right? And then as soon as they get a camera, they start saying that they're offering, or when I have an event, it's like, oh, I don't have time. So it's very hard and challenging for me to find someone to be able to train and work with because of that fact.
Yeah. So
Um,
let's solve for that problem. So the way you solve for that problem is, one, this is how you're seeing it right now, from where you're sitting and from where you're at in life right now. You're seeing as like, I'm gonna waste my time, and then at the very end, I end up the one not harvesting those crops that I thought I was planting. And you feel
correct.
it's a complete a waste of resources. And some people might even feel like, oh man, that guy really just he stabbed me in the back. I can't believe it. Like I trusted him,
Right.
right? So then now you're moving into a position at a vibrational level where you feel like a victim, right? But I want you to pivot into a perspective where if you hire someone, you train them, and you're great at what you do and you train them well, and then they become more independent and then they become ambitious, and now they want to start their own business. Well, these are the exact people that you might want to consider being part of your business because they're self-starters and they're independent. And once they learn certain skills, you don't need to constantly micromanage them or give them tips and advice because they can learn freely as leaders. Now, what you need to be doing in the background is making sure that your marketing is way greater. So even though they want to go and be independent, they'll learn soon that it's very difficult to get business without having a proper foundation and a presence, brand recognition, basically a marketing strategy. So what happens is you will keep them busy as contractors now. So,
Mm.
try to see it in a way where you're creating leaders, and those people will step into your business and act as leaders when it comes time for you to start dispatching different events to different photographers and videographers. And the reason you're going to stay busy and they think that they're ready is, one, because, yeah, that's great that they are ready. They've acquired certain skills. They know shutter speed, they know angles, they know flash, they know all that stuff. But how much more experience do you have when it comes to customer care, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to overall communication? They're still learning those things, which means that you're always going to have more momentum as you continue being a teacher and guiding these people that, one, might not have lots of ambition and might stay with you longer, or two, are ambitious, and those are good qualities, and they're still going to be able to serve you down the road as long as you maintain a healthy relationship. I was in the same situation you were. I had assistants, and then they said, well, I want to get my own 360 booth. And then I thought to myself, this guy lives like 10 minutes away from me. Like, if he gets a 360 booth, and he's going to be my competition. That's the way I seen it at one point in my life. As I educated myself further, I realized actually this is great because now I have this guy as a backup and he's only 10 minutes away from me. So I continued to spend a good amount of time in my marketing, my brand awareness, my overall presentation as a business. And to this day, some of those individuals still work for me. And I'm happy that all I got to tell them is, hey, are you available on this day at this time? and they say yes, and I'm happy to know that they can run the show by themselves. They have all of their equipment, they have the skills required, and I don't have to babysit them. See it as an opportunity for you. This is how people, Jose, this is how people get other people to make their dream come true. Because at the end of the day, they're working to make your dream come true, to grow your business. And in return, you're compensating them for their time, but you're keeping a good amount of the profit without, again, having to be there physically. So, in summary, I want you to always take one step back from your constant way of thinking and ask yourself, how could I frame this in a positive way? And as corny as this may sound, sometimes say, like, how can I express this from a more loving point of view?
Right.
And you'll be amazed of what the universe or God, those downloads it'll give you. And then you start seeing business very differently. The millionaires and the billionaires, they have massive teams, and they're not even really involved in the business. They actually step away sometimes from the business.
Right.
So
it makes sense.
Yes,
it makes
sir.
sense. So it does make sense what you're saying. It makes sense. You just have to keep a positive mentality and attitude,
Yeah.
and be open to listen, you
Yeah.
know, and
And you
apply those.
interview your assistants at a deep level. So another strategy is when I would have people reaching out to me, I would take 3 guys with me at one time to an event, and I would introduce them to each other, let them know, hey, this is his goal and this is my overall goal. Right now, we're a unit. So when we're out here, you guys are representing my brand, and however you guys perform, I'm going to be there to show you a way that could be a way that I feel would be a lot better as far as the presentation goes, or attitude towards the client, or overall mannerisms and body language. I said, and you guys can take this information I'm providing you with and run with it, or you guys can just hear me out and respect my point of view during this specific event. Now, my job is to help you guys be successful operators and business owners. And I understand that you guys are ambitious, and that's why we are here today. We are here because we're all growing, and we have the same common goal, which is to be a successful photo booth business. So once you
Right.
clear the air and all the guys know, like, whoa, I didn't think David think that I was going to just train with them and then go do my own thing, but apparently he knows that I want to be successful too. So take multiple people with you to train, because some will stay with you longer than others, and this is going to help you with the turn where people leave you too quickly. Like, some guys might be with you for a full quarter, and then other guys might be with you just for like a full month, and some guys sometimes will stay with you for over a year. And and don't waste your time just doing one person at a time. If you can bring in
Right.
more assistants, then you figure out the payroll, and just know that you're investing in your business, because you're going to teach these guys for a few hours, couple events, but then that they are your investment, because then they're going to become an asset to your business. And what you already taught them, you don't have to repeat it.
And you will pay them?
So I pay them, one, because money is a motivator. But on top of that, I will tell them this, guys, I charge $100 for consultations. Right now, you guys are with me at an event in person, hands-on, and you guys are not paying me. I said, and I'm doing this because I love the fact that you guys reached out to me and you guys want to get a business started. So basically, it's like, it goes back to how I frame it. So I'm basically telling them, like, look, I'm doing you guys a favor because I want you to succeed. But also right now, I need you guys to perform at your very best, because you guys are representing my brand. And every guy so far has been very respectful, and because it's a two-way game. I'm not going to step on someone to become great. I'm going to continue to grow, and you're going to grow with me one way or another. And if you don't want to be part of this journey, then you want to be independent, then in my mind, it's better that they are being themselves and they're being transparent, and this is where they're at in life. And I need to respect that that's where they're at right now in their mind and with their level of maturity. And this goes back to just allowing people to be themselves, because when you allow for someone to be themselves and you yourself show up to a situation as yourself, it takes way less energy to be yourself than to try to pretend to be someone you're not, and really put on an act. And that takes a lot of energy to try to be someone who you're not. It's gonna be easier. It's gonna get easier to an extent, and then you're gonna have your new set of problems where your business now is at a level where now you need to do different implementations and tap into different resources because now you reached a new level. I want to try to motivate you to take a different path in your business because, as you mentioned, you're 48, you said?
Yeah. I turned 48 this November.
There you go. So you're at a place now in life where you should be a leader, you should be a teacher because you've acquired so much life experience. And there's a newer generation that we need to tap into that are going to use modern day technology to accelerate their learning. But at the same time, technology cannot replace what you have to offer as far as experience goes. It's priceless.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Perfect. I was gonna ask you for a favor. Last year, I remember you searched for the business and you couldn't find it.
Mhm.
Is it possible that can you really quick search to see if you can see it this time now?
Mhm. Yeah.